The year is 1793. France is embroiled in revolution and foreign. The royalist city, backed by British and Spanish naval power, resists the Republican forces, clinging desperately to the old order. The Republican army, disorganized and lacking a clear strategy, struggles to breach the formidable defenses held by the enemy coalition.
This audacious strategy was initially dismissed by the senior officers, but the desperate situation... Given his chance, Napoleon immediately set about acquiring and positioning the necessary heavy guns, transforming the ineffective artillery corps.
He established battery positions with ruthless efficiency, naming one the Mountain and another the Sans-Culotte in defiance of the enemy.
The bombardment began immediately, a relentless storm of iron intended to crush the enemy defenses and weaken their defiant spirit.
His tireless efforts and technical brilliance revitalized the entire siege operation, filling the weary French soldiers with a renewed sense of purpose.
Even when wounded by a bayonet during a skirmish, the determined officer refused to leave his post, demanding only immediate attention.
Finally, the assault began. The French troops, inspired by their young general, surged forward into the teeth of the enemy fire.
Despite fierce resistance and heavy losses,
The fort, the key to the entire operation, fell. The strategic advantage had been decisively taken, a victory for the Republic.
From this vantage point, Napoleon immediately directed his heavy artillery onto the British ships, making the harbor untenable for the Royal Navy.
for his brilliant plan and heroic execution, Napoleon Bonaparte was immediately promoted to the rank
Faced with an inescapable cannonade, the British admiral ordered an immediate and frantic evacuation of their entire naval force and remaining troops.
His success was rooted not only in courage, but in deep study, a profound understanding of classical military. In this single, decisive campaign, the young officer had proved his genius, showing a strategic... The siege of Toulon was more than a battle. It was the prelude to an extraordinary career.
He left the scene of his triumph with quiet confidence, carrying the undeniable proof of his strategic genius and unmatched leadership abilities.
Toulon was the perfect blend of tactical genius, relentless effort, and the sheer audacity to challenge the established, cautious military hierarchy.
The defeated enemy was gone, the strategic port secured, and the Republic had a new, essential hero.
The successful operation restored French military morale, proving that the Republican armies could indeed defeat the powerful European coalition.
With the battle concluded, Napoleon displayed the same efficiency and organizational skill in the cleanup as he had in the strategic planning.
His work at Toulon was done. The newly minted general knew this was merely the first, necessary step on a much grander, unknown path.
The victory at Toulon launched him from the muddy fields of the siege to the formal, complex political arenas of the powerful French capital.
The recapture of Toulon was a strategic masterpiece, securing the Mediterranean coastline and denying the...
The banner of the Republic now flew high over the ramparts, a defiant symbol that... The war against the European powers was far from over, and the young general understood that this victory...
Even the veteran generals were forced to recognize the unparalleled impact of the young artillery officer's decisive plan and leadership.
His victory report was crisp and clear, demonstrating the same focused precision in writing as he had shown in the planning and the execution of the battle.
The scars of the relentless bombardment remained etched on the fortress walls, a testament to the artillery's destructive power and precision. The successful siege became a military case study, demonstrating the decisive impact of concentrating artillery on a single, vital point.
Toulon was the spark that ignited the flame, the immediate proof that a truly great commander had risen from the chaos of the revolution.
The future of France, and indeed the whole of Europe, would be forever changed by the success.
The common soldiers, seeing the direct result of intelligent strategy, felt a new loyalty to their insightful and highly effective young commander.
Beyond the bravery, the victory required masterful administration, ensuring the supply of vital ammunition, food, and necessary men.
The young general possessed the essential qualities of the greatest commanders of history: intellectual curiosity. He understood that victory was determined not just by courage, but by the relentless, practical details of...
The key was concentration, focusing the entirety of the available firepower onto one small, crucial point to breach the enemy's defenses.
He watched the foreign ships retreat, a silent testament to the power of French will and the triumphant spirit of the young republic.
Toulon was now fully and irrevocably French, a critical turning point that stabilized the republic's southern flank against European hostility.
The victory was achieved in the final months of 1793, marking not only a military success, but the true birth of a legendary figure.
His elevation to general was swift and deserved, a testament to the revolution's meritocratic ideal.
With Toulon secured, the general's thoughts inevitably turned to the next campaign, already strategizing the movements that would follow.
The shared danger and ultimate triumph forged unbreakable bonds of loyalty between the young general.
The shadow of the general's success now fell across the entire region, signaling the dramatic rise of his Beyond the military mind, he possessed an artistic, sensitive soul, which perhaps allowed...
The artillery, often overlooked, was the true engine of the victory, and Napoleon was the master mechanic who brought it to its ultimate potential.
He looked toward the destiny that awaited him, the path now clearly illuminated by the undeniable light of
his focus on precision, logistics, and concentrating overwhelming force proved the absolute superiority of his method of warfare. From the heights of Toulon, the general surveyed his first great success, realizing the immense potential and scope of his future destiny.
He had placed his immense talent at the service of the Republic, fiercely dedicated to the ideals of...
Though Toulon was won, the general's gaze was already fixed on the next challenge, the next theater of war, and the next great triumph.
The initial chaos and lack of coordination were replaced by the general's structure, a model of military discipline and strategic organization.
He never forgot that strategy requires courage, personally ensuring that the brave efforts of the common foot soldier were fully recognized.
The spoils of war included the enemy's own artillery, a double victory that further strengthened the Republican forces and their logistical chain.
His methodical approach included the efficient management of materials, ensuring that no resource from the hard-fought victory was needlessly wasted.
The city now slept under the peaceful banner of the Republic, a vital, hard-won prize secured.
Il a immédiatement commencé à partager ses connaissances, enseignant les principes de précision et de concentration qui avaient mené à la victoire décisive.
The new insignia represented not only a promotion, but the revolution's official stamp of approval on a military genius. His vision was not short-term. He immediately began planning the long-term, permanent defense of the... December 19, 1793, the day the French Republic reclaimed Toulon.
A true leader shares the triumph with his men, ensuring that the necessary comforts of victory...
The French forces had driven the powerful British presence back to the sea, ending the immediate threat of foreign domination in the south.
He had fundamentally reshaped the strategic landscape of southern France, demonstrating an unmatched capacity for military transformation and control. The light of success shone brightly upon him, illuminating the path forward from the revolutionary...
His departure was a quiet turning point. The successful field general now headed toward the halls of power, driven by his proven ability. The mud of Toulon symbolized the grueling work and tireless dedication that preceded the glory, the price of strategic military success.
The retreat of the powerful fleet was the clearest sign of defeat. abandoning their position to the concentrated, superior French firepower.
Even amidst the grand ambition and military glory, the general carried a private, quiet sense of duty. The Little Gibraltar position was the key, and its capture proved Napoleon's perfect understanding of terrain and decisive military geography.
With this victory, you have upheld the honor of the Republic. Your bravery ensures the triumph of France.
The spirit of the great conquerors lived on in the young general, combining the strategic mind of the past.
Despite his intensity in battle, he maintained a profound compassion for his soldiers, ensuring their welfare was a critical post-battle priority.
The lowering of the enemy's standard marked the total, symbolic transfer of power.
His rising power was cemented in the official records, his signature becoming synonymous with efficient command and brilliant military success.
The general was meticulous in ensuring his victories were immediately formalized, locking down the new strategic reality on every official map.
The victory was a triumph for the core values of the Republic, demonstrating that intelligence and merit could overcome outdated privilege.
The port was now entirely secured, allowing the French Navy to reclaim its...
The chains of foreign influence were shattered by French strength, symbolizing the liberation of the port and the nation from external powers.
Securing the victory meant immediately fortifying the newly won ground, ensuring the captured position could never be taken back by the enemy. The light of the general's tireless labor burned through the night, a silent testament to the personal sacrifice required for strategic triumph.
The Eagle of France soared over Toulon, a potent emblem of national strength and the glory of...
The general was entrusted with the ultimate authority over the recaptured port, a significant command entrusted to his young, capable hands.
His vision extended beyond battle. He immediately set about improving the essential infrastructure, linking
The tool of his victory, the decisive cannonball, now rested quietly, having completed...
He drew strength and wisdom from the great military minds of antiquity, fusing classical lessons with the modern reality of revolutionary warfare. The victorious banner was respectfully retired from the battlefield, its mission accomplished, the victory proudly secured for the French nation.
The general shared the glory with his men, demonstrating that true leadership is built on mutual respect, admiration, and shared success.
Toulon was the modern echo of ancient triumphs, the moment a new master of war stepped onto the global stage, forever altering history.
The mind that conceived the victory at Toulon was already at work, tirelessly charting the next brilliant strategy for the Republic's defense and glory. The artillery corps, once underestimated, was now the pride of the army, recognized as the decisive...
Victory cast a long shadow, not only across the port of Toulon, but across the entire, turbulent and uncertain future of Europe.
The ultimate respect of the army was now unequivocally his, earned through decisive action and demonstrated.
Practical success was rooted in a theoretical foundation, transforming the studied strategies of the past into the victorious plans of the present.
He wasted no time, immediately planning the next set of defensive and offensive positions to secure the region.
Construisez la batterie là-bas!
The crown of victory was rightly earned by the genius of his plan, bringing glory to the Republic and securing his own place in history. The logistical triumph was as vital as the strategic, ensuring the ceaseless supply of the heavy artillery pieces throughout the intense siege.
He possessed an innate ability to understand and command the geography of the battlefield, transforming terrain itself into a strategic weapon. The very air still crackled with the memory of the immense, concentrated firepower that had finally forced the stubborn British retreat.
He departed Toulon with the thanks of his superiors and the gratitude of the Republic, his success now officially recognized and formalized.
The foreign threat vanished over the horizon, a powerful, clear signal that the French Republic would not yield to external intervention. The move to seize the heights was a masterstroke, a brilliant strategic gambit that instantly checkmated the enemy's powerful naval advantage. He understood that military science never rests, always seeking the next technological and tactical improvement to maintain a decisive advantage. He surveyed the defeated enemy with professional calm, ensuring that their formal surrender was handled with dignity, respect, and absolute order.
The essential French naval facility was restored, now functioning as a vital asset for the Republic's defense and projection of naval power.
He honored the bravery of his troops, recognizing that true glory is achieved through the combined, heroic efforts of all ranks and men.
Vos théories sont vaines face aux réalités du champ de bataille. Ma victoire prouve la voie à suivre.
Général, la politique n'est pas la guerre.
C'est la même chose, mais avec plus de risques.
The general's will was iron. His hand, steady and decisive, proved his absolute capacity.
The general took up his new post in Paris, bringing his proven military authority to bear on the complex, critical decisions of the government. Victory was not accidental. It was the direct result of Napoleon's rigorous planning and the perfect organization of every single logistical detail.
The return of the citizens to a safe, liberated Toulon was the true humanitarian measure of the victory.
The siege was won not by power only, but by speed.
His respect for the common soldier's courage in the face of danger earned him a profound, enduring loyalty from the men he commanded.
The general arrived in Paris, bringing the undeniable authority of military success into the highly unstable and turbulent political heart of the Republic. The general never forgot his humble Corsican roots, drawing a quiet strength and fear. He saw his own victory as a continuation of history's great military tradition, linking his strategy directly to the immortal campaigns of antiquity. The formal destruction of the enemy's symbol confirmed the total sovereignty of the Republic over Toulon, extinguishing the last vestiges of foreign control. The general showed his commitment to the citizens, ensuring the swift restoration of the city's infrastructure and the return to normalcy.
The siege was a lesson in directing overwhelming force with surgical precision, hitting the enemy where they were strategically most vulnerable.
The official government recognition was confirmation that the young artillery officer's triumph had secured his immediate and permanent elevation to general. Victory was built upon impeccable logistical chains and reliable communication, ensuring every part of the army acted as a unified whole. The calm after the storm allowed the general a moment of quiet reflection, appreciating the profound peace he had brought to the troubled port. The young general's achievement was of a caliber not seen since antiquity, earning him a place among the greatest conquerors of all time.
The paper made it official. The audacious artillery captain had become the brigadier general. A swift... Toulon was a curtain call for a rising star. The world was about to witness the true
He focused relentlessly on the science of artillery, seeing mathematics and precision as the ultimate, decisive elements of military power.
The abandoned enemy defenses stood as silent monuments to the young general's strategic triumph. The general's gaze was fixed on a greater horizon. Toulon was merely the first testament to the extraordinary destiny that awaited him. The victory was a triumph for the revolution itself, cementing the power of the Republic over the symbols and forces of the old royalist order. The general cemented the bonds of comradeship, sharing both the planning and the celebration with the men who fought alongside him.
The British paid a heavy price for their intervention, their naval forces badly damaged and strategically humiliated by the young French general.
He personally oversaw the strengthening of the Republic's defenses, ensuring the integrity and quality of the newly secured strategic positions.
The focus of the entire siege, the small fort of Leguilette, was now eternally bathed.
The accolades poured in from across the Republic, confirming the national significance of the victory and the recognition of the young general.
The victory was bought with courage and blood, evidenced by the tiny scars on the stone, reminders of the fierce, close-quarters fighting.
The defeat of the two major European powers was symbolized by the array of captured colors.
The spirit of the great Roman legions and their commanders found a new expression in the person and the actions of the young general.
Je présentais mon succès avec clarté et confiance, assurant au public la nature précise et calculée de ma victoire militaire.
The Mediterranean was now secured for the Republic, ushering in a new era of French naval and military dominance in the critical southern theater.
The general surveyed the profound territorial and strategic gains, realizing the immense scope and scale of the new French control over the region.
The fields of war were now silent, allowing the general a moment to reflect on the immense human and strategic cost of the hard-won victory.
The captured enemy agony is set to burn. Nous vous sommes très reconnaissants, Général. Acceptez ce gage de notre estime.
Capital was a different kind of battlefield, and the general's strategic mind was already adapting to the political and social challenges ahead.
The victory was forged by sheer will and strategic strength, hammered into reality by the general's decisive, powerful actions and commands.
He passed through the gate of his first triumph, leaving the battlefield to enter the grand, limitless stage of the world and future history.
The general's mind never rested, constantly processing the complex intelligence regarding the next movements of the persistent European coalition.
The general was quickly given the title that cemented his fame, Vainqueur de Toulon, the conqueror who secured the Republic's south.
He skillfully managed the delicate relationship between the military's needs and the essential needs of the newly liberated civilian population.
The enemy's formidable artillery stood mute, a silent testament to the devastating effect.
The general accepted a symbolic tribute of the hard-won soil, honoring the physical ground that became the foundation of his immense, rising career.
The general was their liberator.
His strategy, simple and direct, proved the brilliance of his military thinking. Strike decisively at the enemy's single, vital point.
From this victorious, humble beginning, the young general was destined to ascend to the absolute heights of global military and political power. Nature itself seemed to conspire against the defeated British, who struggled in vain against the powerful French land-based will and command.
Victory was a calculated risk, a powerful and decisive move that paid off, proving the absolute superiority of his strategic genius and will. Le flanc gauche doit être renforcé immédiatement. Préparez l'artillerie pour un barrage à l'aube. Toutes les troupes disponibles au secteur sud, sans délai. The symbolic act of planting the flag confirmed the absolute, physical, and moral victory.
Victory was passed down, a lasting legacy of courage and genius that would inspire future generations of French military command.
Victory was a brief calm before the inevitable, greater storm, and the general knew that immense, powerful challenges still awaited him. The general's victory was a direct service to the ideals of the Republic, ensuring the survival of liberty and the new national order.
The general's victory was cemented in the annals of history, a formalized defeat of the world's most powerful navy by the French land-based forces.
He constantly pursued scientific superiority, seeking new, powerful formulas to ensure the enduring.
The port was a gateway to new horizons, symbolizing the Republic's renewed capacity to project.
The general's mind was not limited to battlefields. He immersed himself in the deep political and philosophical currents that defined the revolution.
The heroes of the siege were celebrated, the artillery corps earning the highest honors for their
Understood that strategy was also human, studying the vital role of morale, discipline, and the profound psychology of the determined soldier.
a commendation from the Committee of Public Safety. His success was acknowledged by the highest echelons of the revolutionary. The field was littered with the remnants of the defeated European forces.
The mutual respect between the general and his troops was profound, built on the shared danger and the glorious, hard-won success of the campaign.
The new insignia was the tangible proof of his elevation, formalizing the general's immense authority and his command over the army.
The victory was honored, but the cost was never forgotten. The general shared the profound, necessary grief for the brave men who had fallen. The Republic established its new authority, marking the end of the siege and the beginning of a powerful new French presence in the south.
The general's focus was long-term, ensuring the permanent security of the vital French Mediterranean coastline. The soldier and the citizen shared the fruits of victory, a symbol of the restored peace and the strong.
He analyzed the defeated enemy's strategy with a sharp, professional eye, learning valuable lessons from their miscalculations and fatal flaws.
The general marked the change of command by symbolically erasing the foreign presence, renaming the forts with proud Republican titles.
Fort de la Montagne!
The instrument of war now rested on a bed of peaceful flowers, symbolizing the victory that brought quiet.
The hero of Toulon commanded immediate respect in the capital, his confident presence demanding attention in the high.
The symbol of the Republic was permanently etched into the stone, marking the fort as French forever, a testament to the decisive victory.
Even as a celebrated general, he shared a moment of proud connection with the officers who understood his unique origin.
The general's technical mastery drew deeply from the classical engineers, proving that timeless knowledge combined with modern force is absolute victory.
He stood as the undisputed master of Toulon, the young general whose strategic genius had finally secured the port. The tricolor flew high and clear, a magnificent emblem of the decisive, hard-won victory, and the government of the Republic formally acknowledged the general's invaluable service, a profound political endorsement of his military brilliance. The overwhelming force of the bombardment was a direct result of meticulous, tireless logistical organization.
The general's precision even reached the enemy's man. A clear, decisive statement that forced the immediate.
The French eagle, the proud emblem of the Republic, was raised high above the conquered heights, signaling absolute victory to all who watched.
He continued to push the boundaries of military science, collaborating with France's finest minds to create the next generation of superior weaponry.
The defeated foreign fleet was escorted away, a clear, powerful display of the French Republic's newly asserted. The general respected experience, combining his youthful genius with the hard-won wisdom of the seasoned veterans to ensure comprehensive planning.
The spirit of classical was proudly. The innocence of the children's gratitude was a powerful symbol, reflecting the general's success in securing his.
His mind was already scaling the next great obstacles, viewing the distant mountains as mere strategic challenges.
The general brought his scientific, meticulous approach to the highest levels of the French military, demanding that every decision be based on absolute precision.
The general's authority now extended to the powerful French Navy, guiding the strategic direction and control. The general rode through the triumphant gates, the city's inscription, now a permanent reminder of them. The scarred, tattered flag was preserved, a profound, solemn reminder of the immense cost
and
Son génie militaire avéré lui conférait l'autorité incontestée de diriger les débats dans la capitale, exigeant que la praticité et la stratégie priment.
The general's mind immediately moved to permanent security, focusing on fortifying the entire coastline to prevent any future foreign incursions.
The conquered forts were now French garrisons, perfectly organized and manned, cementing the decisive strategic...
Amidst the glory, he shared his momentous triumph with his family, conveying the scale of his success and his unwavering personal ambition.
The triumphant cannon was crowned with the laurel of victory, a tribute to the power of artillery and the decisive success of the general's plan. The general was already at work in the capital, translating the strategic lessons of Toulon into plans for the next great, decisive campaign.
The military hero and the political leadership established a strong, unified front, ensuring the Republic's defense and strategic clarity.
We present this study, recognizing your contribution to the science of war.
I am honored. New theory will secure French victory.
The sentry stood as a symbol of the successful defense. The general ensured that the logistical triumph was enduring, planning new, highly efficient supply lines for the permanent garrison and the populace.
He followed the grand tradition of the classical masters, drawing inspiration and structure from the writings of Rome's greatest military commander.
The final symbol of the French Republic's authority was mounted, confirming the definitive, absolute control and the end of all foreign military presence.
The general looked toward the complex, misty future, resolute in his commitment to guide the Republic through the challenges that lay ahead. His success was rooted in the timeless principles of warfare, a modern triumph that honored the great strategic...
Recognizing your technical genius, we praise the general for the perfect, calculated application of artillery science and precision.
The flag flew high and proud, a majestic symbol of the French Republic's final, clear-cut...
And then he said, "But General, the horses speak German!"
To the victory, General!
To France! To the finest officers in the army!
The mud of the battlefield was cleaned, symbolizing the transition from the rough realities of the siege to the formal demands of the capital.
The political battlefield of Paris required a new kind of strategy, and the general observed the intricate power dynamics with a sharp, analytical...
Victory was a powerful economic and political asset, a military success that brought immense value and stability to the struggling French.
The general faced the turbulent political climate with profound strategic caution, knowing that the greatest battles are often fought in the halls of power.
His victory was acknowledged on the international stage, raising his profile and earning the respectful attention of foreign governments and diplomats.